One of the questions we get asked the very most is, do you have a therapist you can recommend for me? And while we wish that we knew of therapists in every single place, in every single part of the country, we don't. So what do we tell them instead, Mel?
We say check out BetterHelp because it's online, it's at a reasonable price, and you can be matched with a therapist within 24 hours. I've also used them, and they have been great. And if you don't like your therapist, guess what? Click, and get a new one.
Absolutely. It's so hard when you have an in-person therapist, if you're not clicking with them, to cut them off and get a new one. So that's not an issue with BetterHelp. So we always tell people to try BetterHelp. And if you use our promo code, which is
trybetterhelp.com/WWDN,
you get 10% off your first month.
Go ahead and try it out. That's trybetterhelp.com/WWDN. And you know what? I'm a big fan of doing therapy where you don't have to wear pants, but nobody knows about it.
Are you wearing pants right now, Mel?
I'll see you later. Bye. That's trybetterhelp.com/WWDN.
Today, I'm excited about our guest because this has been coming for a while. We've been trying to convince him to come on, but he's being shy and weird, whatever. But now we finally got him. I'm going to tell you the backstory, a little bit of the backstory. Once upon a time, we got an email from a listener, and this listener said, "Hi, thanks for the podcast." Told us a little bit about his story, but we're going to let him share that part. And he said, "I've just started listening to the podcast, but I feel like I'm in a time machine because I'm listening to it from the beginning, and we're living in this year, but you guys are living back then. And I know that things have changed for you guys, but I'm listening to you back in that day. And also it's reminding me of all of the things that were happening to me back in this time." So he checked in with us every once in a while as he came through the time machine. And we said, well, once you get to the end of the time machine and you're all caught up, then we need to talk to you on the podcast. And so that's where we are. He's all caught up, I think.
I think so.
Do you want to tell us who you are? Time capsule, time machine guest?
Time traveler.
I am now in the present, and my name is Scott, and I am talking to you from the beautiful island of Oahu in the state of Hawaii.
Aloha.
Aloha.
I'm just jealous.
Just go visit him, Anita.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
You guys got to come.
I think that living there would be the best, except for things are expensive there. So
It is
not the best.
expensive. It is amazing, though. I love living here. We built a really amazing life here.
Didn't you research that, Anita? You were looking at physical therapist jobs. You could go live there. Go hang out with Scott all the time.
I feel like anytime, I don't know if other people do this, but when you travel to a new place, or just any place, you're like, oh, I think I'm going to live here. And you start looking at jobs, places. Does anybody else do that? Is that just me? I did that in New Zealand. I did that in Australia. I've done it in Hawaii. I'm like, yes, but not Toronto. Nope, I didn't want to live
Oh,
there.
I love Toronto.
I
Poor
know,
Toronto. I love you, Canada.
just don't want to go where it's cold.
I love you, Canada, too.
Yeah, yeah.
Scott, what do you do in your life?
Right now, I'm not doing anything because my industry, which is the television and film industry, is currently in crisis. There is no work.
What's happening?
There is zero work where I live for the first time in over 20 years. And there's very little work in LA and Atlanta. Everything is going out of the country right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to England, it's going to New Zealand, it's going to Eastern Europe, Prague and Budapest. Yeah, we're too expensive. We've outpriced ourselves, I think.
That's what orchestras do now, too, for people that need orchestral stuff. They go to Prague.
Ugh.
Yeah. So what part of the industry is your specialty?
I am an art director and a production designer. So I design the sets and the locations and basically the environments that are put before the camera.
That just sounds made up to me.
That's so cool.
Don't tell anybody. It is. Nobody really knows what we do, and we like to keep it that way.
Perfect.
Well, Anita and
Yeah.
I are available if you want to create your own show and you can design all of it. We'll do it for free.
I'm in. I'm
Okay.
in.
We're cheap talent. I don't even know if we could be called that. So at some point in time, Scott, I also have to tell our listeners about the super, what's the right word? Woo woo week that I had that you were a part of, where the widow universe was making me take care of all of the widowed people. It was so wild. So I've told a little bit about that, but in 1 week, I had 7 widow encounters. Okay. Running into people in different locations. And then the one that like culminated it and was the weirdest, I want to say, was yours, which was I was downstairs and I was riding my bike in the basement, which I do all through the winter. And I was watching this little show called Hawaii 5-0. Okay.
Wait, the old one or
No,
the new one?
the new one. It's the most ridiculous show, you guys. But I'm watching it, and my kids come down, and I hit pause because they needed to talk to me about something. We talk about our thing. I'm still riding my bike. I look up at the screen, and frozen on the screen, it says, blah, 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 Scott Meehan. And I was like, what?
That's crazy.
Are you kidding me? And then I was like, I know you live in Hawaii. I know you work in the film industry. You have a weird name. This has to be the same person, right? So I emailed you about it and you were like, absolutely, that is me. I was trying to tell somebody the story and I tried to pause on that spot on purpose and I could not. It took me like 27 tries of going back and forth. And your name was the only name on the screen at that point in time. So I was like, okay, universe, I see you. And so I sent you an email. I said, are you okay? And you were like, actually, no. So that was the last of the weird woo woo widow week. That was so
Why
good.
wasn't I okay?
You had just come back from somewhere and you had just come back. You've been away for a while and you just came back to Hawaii and you were like, it sucks to come back and she's not here kind of a thing. That's what I remember.
I mean, why was I not okay is a really dumb question.
You're on a widow podcast.
Exactly. I am in general not okay,
Yeah.
but I'm working on it.
So the universe wanted you to be taken care of. I just want you to know that in a
Well, here I am.
weird way.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your person?
My person is Donna. Donna is a Canadian, which is why I said I love Canada.
Oh.
Yeah. She grew up in, I'm actually not from here. Wait, let's do me for a second. I'm not from Hawaii. I'm from Los Angeles. That's the film industry thing.
You grew up there?
I did. I grew up in Los Angeles. I've been in this industry my whole adult life. But I came here to Hawaii 18 years ago to do a movie. And I fell in love with it here. It's
He looked for
amazing.
jobs. See?
I did. And Anita, that's how it happens. That's how most transplants end up here. They're either here on vacation or they're here because of work. And it just resonated with me. Everything about it, the people, the culture, the music, obviously the ocean and the jungles. And it's an amazing place. And it's an amazing place to work and live. So I sort of realized that I wanted to become the guy that did all of the Hawaii shows. And ta-da, I became the guy that does all of the Hawaii shows. Except for now, there aren't any.
There are no more Hawaii shows. There's Hawaii shows in Hungary.
There's a huge Hawaii show right now called Chief of War on
yeah.
Apple. Yeah, that was all shot in New Zealand.
Tricksters.
Boo, boo. Anyhow, so that's how I ended up here. City boy from Los Angeles. Donna was a farm girl. She grew up on a farm in Saskatchewan and moved to the city, moved to Calgary, Alberta, when she was in grade 3. So a lot of her life was in Calgary. She is an amazing human being. She's smart. She's everything that I'm not. She's smart. She's funny. She's beautiful. Everybody loved her. I know everybody on this podcast says that about their person, and I'm sure it's always true, but Donna was a spectacular human being and everybody loved her. So she got in because of her dynamic and sparkling personality. She got into sales and marketing and was super successful in Canada. And so much so that the company that she was working for offered her a job in Hawaii. So she said, okay, I've been there on vacation. It's nice. I'll check it out. I'll go and see if it works for me. So she came in August of 2001, August. So the next month was September. And on September 9th, yes, all air traffic stopped. The world shut down. And she basically decided that she was going to stay. She had no choice. She couldn't go home.
She got stuck.
Yeah, she got stuck. But she loved it here. And she, was super successful, made a great life for herself, made tons of friends, as she does. She would go home every summer and visit her friends in Calgary. She built a house there, so she would go and stay in her house. And it was 2010 that we first met. So she was here for almost 10 years before we met. And I was here for about 3 years before we met.
How did you end up meeting on the island?
First of all, it's a small island. It's like a small town. Everybody knows everybody. But we actually met in a bar. We met at Tiki's, which is this amazing bar and grill right on the water in Waikiki. It's about 2 blocks from where I live. And I was there. I was working on a TV show, and a friend of mine was in town from LA, and he was designing the pilot for Hawaii Five-0.
Aha!
Yeah, it'll all come together eventually. And so I was there having dinner with him, and I had a couple of Mai Tais. Whenever Donna would tell the story, she would always attribute my bravery to my liquid courage of Mai Tais. So she was standing at the bar. I noticed her. I left at one point to go to the restroom, made eye contact with her as I passed her. When I came back into the restaurant, she was still standing there. I went up to her. I started talking to her, which is so not me. But it was, it was fate, I guess. It was meant to be. So I asked her what she was doing. Is she waiting for somebody? And she was waiting for guests and just about to give up on them. And I said, well, do you want to come hang out with me and my friends? We're having drinks over here. So she said yes. She came, she sat with us. At one point, she said, so what do you do for a living? And I said, again, a couple of Mai Tais in, I said, well, I'm the art director on Lost. And at the time, Lost was like a super big deal. And it was certainly a super big deal here in Hawaii. So I thought that would be impressive, but she couldn't care less. But, in her snarky, fun way, she had that twinkle in her eye, and she looked at me and she said, oh, so you're the guy that moves the coconuts. And I shot back immediately. I thought I was so clever. I said, no, actually, I have people that move the coconuts. Mm. And she cracked up. We both laughed, and that was it. She was in. She would always say, you had me at, I have people that move the coconuts.
This is the best. I want to know, first of all, what she sold that she was so good at selling.
When she came out here, she was selling chocolate.
What? She was a chocolate saleswoman?
Yes. She worked for a company called World's Finest Chocolate.
Oh my gosh.
That.
Oh,
do you know them?
That. Oh, yes.
And it's a fundraising company. They, so she mostly worked with the schools. She traveled to all the islands, met with all the admin from every school. So for a howly, blonde, pretty lady, she was more local than many locals.
Is that the company with the chocolate bunnies? Because I sold those. When I was in junior high band.
Definitely sold a lot of those, but actually what ended up happening is that my mom ended up having to buy them all because I didn't actually sell them so many times.
Chocolate covered almonds are the big hit here.
Oh.
So
they probably didn't have that when we were in junior high. It was too long ago.
Probably not.
I don't know. Maybe. They've been around for a long time.
Okay.
As evidenced by us selling them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she was the chocolate lady. Everybody's favorite.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Like, how can you go wrong with this like combination? We have the movie maker with the coconut movers, and we have a person who sells chocolate.
Hey guys, just checking in and want to say if you are enjoying this podcast
And you want to see it keep going, maybe it's helped you through your widowhood journey and you think that it might help others on their widowhood journey, you can support that cause by joining our Patreon.
some of the things that you get as a Patreon beneficiary are ad-free episodes, so you don't have to hear ads like this.
You also get exclusive content, and at a certain level, you might also get an exclusive t-shirt you can only get that place.
That is true. It's pretty cool. There are 4 different tiers available, so check it out. It's patreon.com/WWDN.
And as an extra bonus, very often you get your names read by one of my kids, and they will do a terrible job with the pronunciation. And that's like a bonus, I think.
I think it's kind of the best. I would much rather hear somebody butcher my name than say it correctly.
A child butcher it than an adult do it correctly. Yep. So go to patreon.com/WWDN to keep our podcast going and support the widowed cause.
Yes! Thanks, guys! Back to our regularly scheduled program. You should have made chocolate-covered coconuts, or had your people make them.
Oh, have my people make them. That's a great idea. Where were you?
In junior
what year
high.
was it? Yeah, I was selling chocolate bunnies. I don't have people still. So. Okay, Scott. So how long were you guys kind of dating until it was really serious, or was it immediately serious?
Well, it was, except we were at the very end of Lost. So we finished up and I had already found another job. I did a movie in Alaska. So I was leaving for Alaska for 6 months and she was going to Canada for the summer. And so we sort of parted ways. But when I came back from Alaska, I still had a house in LA. So I didn't know where I was going to end up. But I did come back here to Hawaii. We reconnected when I came back. She came out to visit a couple of times in Alaska. So I tried to keep the flame burning as best I could. But we really started getting serious when I came back. And eventually, like 8 months later, we moved in together and started our happily ever after. I mean, we had so much fun. We traveled every summer. You know, I had the perfect gig because we had a summer hiatus. So we would go back to Canada, we would travel, you know, we would go to Europe, we would go to, you know, wherever. We did road trips on the mainland. We traveled to all the islands. We went to Costa Rica. We went everywhere. We had so much fun. And there was always music involved. The two of us were huge music fans and supporters of local music. So everywhere we went, you know, we would check out the local music, go to concerts. Yeah, we just had so much fun together.
Okay, very important question.
Yes.
What bands and or types of music did both of you really like? That might be a loaded question because if you're an appreciator, then it's probably really vast, but give us a little sampler.
Polka.
Definitely polka. You know, on our honeymoon, we traveled in Eastern Europe and we went to a concert in a castle in Slovenia. We went to a huge concert in Croatia in a soccer stadium, and it was all the Croatian, you know, superstars from the past 50 years. So, and we knew none of them. We knew none of the music. We didn't understand a single word, but everybody in the stadium was singing like every word to every song. It was super surreal, like we were on Mars, and we loved it. That doesn't really answer your question, but all kinds of music.
But it kind of does, because it sounds like you two didn't need the radio model to sell you what you like, to dictate what you like.
No, not really.
And I love that because there's so many things out there where you don't have access to them because you just don't know about them. So very cool.
I grew up a rock and roll boy, and I grew up playing music and listening to rock and roll. But now I go to Jazz Fest every year in New Orleans, and it's just opened my mind up to literally everything. So, and living in Hawaii and being supporters of local music, there's a lot of Hawaiian music here, and Hawaiian music is, I would say, evolving in the last, 20, 30 years, into different things. There's contemporary Hawaiian, there's Jawaiian, which is sort of a mashup of Hawaiian and Jamaican. So it's kind of reggae, but not completely. There's a lot of cool stuff happening here.
This is going to become also pertinent for more of your story a little bit later as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, music really did bond us together, but we were a really great fit. In fact, so we were living together. I eventually did propose to her, and I did it at a concert, of course. It was a Mark Cohn concert. Do you know who Mark Cohn is? Mm-hmm. You do, Mel.
Anita's shaking, Mel's nodding.
He's a piano player, he's a singer-songwriter. His big hit was Walking in Memphis. Oh. He's the Walking in Memphis guy.
You know him, Anita.
Sure, I do know that song.
He hates to be known as that, but he was coming here to Hawaii to play at the Blue Note, and I had this crazy idea. He has a song on his first album called True Companion, and it's a very romantic, a little sappy, but just a really cool song. He wrote it when he proposed to his girlfriend when he got married. And so I thought, oh, wouldn't it be fun to propose to Donna at the concert to that song? So for some reason, I must have had a Mai Tai or two, because I went on his website, went to the contact page, wrote to his management and said, hey, I had this idea. I want to propose to my girlfriend. And I got a response. And his manager said, I showed Mark your email and he's in. He wants to help you guys, make this happen. So he came out here. We went to the concert. It was his encore that he did, True Companion. And we were sitting like right at the stage, right, like 2 feet from the piano. And he started off by saying, he said, there's a couple of very special people in the audience tonight. I think they're here celebrating an anniversary. And it was actually our 7 years of the meeting anniversary. And he said, Scott and Donna, are you here? He didn't know we were sitting right in front of him. And Donna heard our names and she was like, what's happening? And so he hands me the microphone and I go into my speech. I pull out the ring. I ask her to marry me. She jumps up. She says yes. He goes into the song. The crowd erupts into applause. It was like a movie. The general manager comes over with a bottle of champagne and a couple of flutes. And it was just absolutely magical. And that was at the Blue Note, one of our favorite music venues here in Waikiki.
I love this story, but now we know we're going to hate it. We have to know, why are you here with us on a Widow podcast? What happened to Donna? Obviously, we know the end result, but will you tell us about that part?
Don't we have to talk about that part?
I mean,
no.
You don't actually have to.
Okay, good. So then the next day,
you say, she died, and now here's how I'm doing. Bad.
Yeah. So the events that led up to that were like, bam, bam, bam. In 2019, we got married. We had an amazing wedding. We designed and planned a week of events. We had this huge, 2 days before the actual ceremony, we had this huge luau. It was a mixer luau because we had friends coming from Canada, coming from California. We had our local friends. We wanted everybody to mix, everybody to know everybody, and really our out-of-town friends to understand what our life is like here, why we love it so much, and to really get the culture and the music and everything about this place. So we had local music. We had local food. We had hula dancers. I mean, it was unbelievable. I had musician friends from LA that played with our Hawaiian musician friends. And it was just magical. Everybody was like this is like a love bubble. We need this to happen every year from now on. And we were like, yeah, okay, we could do like the reunion tour every year to celebrate our friends. So that was 2019. The next year was 2020. It was COVID.
Yeah, remember
So
that.
that shut down those reunion plans. The following year, it was still COVID-y in 2021, but we bought a place together. Like our life was still just magical. Like life in Hawaii during COVID, when all the hotels were closed because they weren't letting anybody onto the island, we had the entire place to ourselves. It was just spectacular. 2021, we bought a place. Donna decided that she wanted to gut it and do a huge renovation. Of course, there were supply chain issues, so it was going to be months and months before we got the cabinetry and appliances and all of that. So we ended up going to Canada. We were here for about 3 months, went to Canada, had a great summer there, river rafting, biking, hiking, going to concerts, because it was starting to open up. This is summer 21, so things were starting to open up again. And she started, toward the end of summer, like August, she started feeling pretty crappy. Some GI problems. She would feel sick when she, had very little to eat. And she's like, I don't know what's going on. So we went to urgent care. They ran some tests, didn't really find anything. And so we were like, okay, when we come, we're planning on coming back in September. When we get back, let's get you into the hospital. Let's do an endoscopy, find out what's going on down there. She's like, okay. She kept getting worse and worse. So we did come home. We went in for the procedure, put a camera down her throat. And before she went under, the doctor came in to tell her what was going on or what he was going to do. And she said, when you go down there with the camera, keep going past my stomach, because I feel like there's a blockage down there. I know my body. I feel like something's wrong. So we were in recovery. The doctor came back to the room and he said, Donna, I've never had anyone self-diagnose themselves like this. We did go past into your duodenum or
Yeah.
duodenum.
Yeah, I've heard it both ways.
Yeah, okay. There is an ulcer there. And we were like, that explains it. Ulcer, pain, that can heal, all good. He said, well, it looks a little odd because there's something poking through the ulcer.
No.
Like, what? So he ordered some more imagery, admitted her to the hospital, and sure enough, there was a tumor, there was a growth on her pancreas, and it had spread to her liver. So she got the official diagnosis of stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
Anita, I hear we have a store.
Oh, we sure do. We've actually had it for quite a while. It's called the Snarky Grief Shop, and it's where you will find all of our best grief merch. That is, yes, a little snarky. For instance, it's where you will find the official widow card that you can pull and use at your convenience.
You can put it in your wallet, and anytime you need to use it, pull it out, play the widow card.
Yeah, we have glow-in-the-dark stickers. We have shirts that say, be nice, my husband is dead. We also have the ones that are not quite as jarring, so that you can wear them out in public and not feel weird. But sometimes you need that shirt.
I wear my Be Nice, My Husband is Dead to bed because I'm a little scared to go in public with it. But you've worn it on airplanes before with your kids.
Yeah, every time we go to the airport, I wear that shirt because I'm just like, listen, I got to get all these kids through security. Just be nice to me. Thank you so much. And it's worked for the most part.
Some of the less snarky grief shirts are podcast shirts or Widow Wives Club. We also have Resilient AF, right, Anita? What else we got in there?
Yeah, which we're telling everybody who cares, like Mel's mom, that means American fork, because she can't know what it really means, guys.
Yeah.
Stickers and mugs and notebooks and just cool stuff that you can use to express your snarky grief. You'll find it by going to our website, shop.widowwedonow.com. regimen.com. There's a lot of W's in there, so just make sure that you've counted them and there's the right number.
We will link to that in the show notes, and it's also in our app, which you can get from the App Store. Can people get it from our regular website too?
Yes, if you go to widowwedonow.com, there's a link for the shop in there too.
Great. If you'd like to show your snark or have something a little more subtle, go ahead and check that out. Again, that's
shop.widowwedonow.com.
I hate this story now.
Yeah, I know.
I hate
I
it.
know.
It was so good.
It was so good. So our first meeting with an oncologist, the guy described the treatment like standard of care chemotherapy, radiation, and it just sounded horrible, horrible. And Donna was like, I don't want to do that. She said, I want my own body to fix itself. I want to do immunotherapy. Just like, this is what I want to do. And he was like, well, that's not really FDA approved yet. You would have to get into a clinical trial or do some sort of experimental thing. And we don't have anything like that going on now in Hawaii. You'd have to go to the mainland. You'd have a much better chance in LA or someplace. So we looked at each other. It's like, all right, we're going to Los Angeles. So I immediately started researching and made a list of people that I was coming across. And the name that kept floating to the top was this oncologist, this specialist in pancreatic cancer at City of Hope in LA. So I called to see if I could even make an appointment. And I did. We got in. It was a Monday. I made an appointment for Wednesday morning. So we're like, oh, crap, we got to go. So we packed, left for LA, got in. He said, I think you might qualify for a clinical trial. Let me make some calls. It could be several weeks before we find out anything. I'm like, okay, let's just see what can happen. He left the room, came in 20 minutes and said, hey, I found one and I got you signed up. We're like, wow, that's fantastic. You guys, everything about that part of our journey was it felt right. It felt magical. It felt like everything was falling into place the way it was supposed to.
Are there any cases in the history of humanity that we know about where stage 4 pancreatic cancer has resolved?
The answer is yes. And that gave us hope. Donna, every step of the way, and I got to say, you guys, that we stayed, this wasn't a death sentence in our minds. She was going to make it. Mm-hmm. We went through this with absolute hope, optimism, and confidence that how could Donna not pull out of this? So, and I still, in my heart, don't think that Donna ever knew that she was going to die. And that's how we went through it. And she would say, yeah, if there's a 5% chance that, if that's what the statistics are, then why can't I am that 5%. So that kept us going. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out the way we hoped. And because of the way we went through it, we never talked about end of life stuff at all. We never had those conversations. It was 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was fast. She got very weak and, it was a roller coaster. So every time things would go bad, things would get good again. So it just kept that hope, ignited.
She sounds so amazing. And even though I have not met her, I would believe that she would be in the 5% too.
Absolutely. She was so full of life. It doesn't make sense that she's not here.
None of it makes sense. You're just like, why? I mean, existentially, like, why her and why pancreatic cancer? Like, It's just such a weird, why does that happen? And why does it pick who it's going to pick? And
It's
just,
completely random,
yeah.
as far as I can tell. We did genetic testing,
Mm,
which came up negative. You look at all of the things that predispose somebody to pancreatic cancer, smokers, overweight, um, you know, all of those things. And she was none of those things.
yeah.
How old was Donna when she passed away?
She would hate for me to tell you this, but
Take 10
Sorry,
years off.
sorry, Donna. Yeah, do whatever math works for you. It's fine.
she was 39 every birthday.
Yes,
Okay.
She was 57.
that's the same thing as 39.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Donna is 39. It's official because it's on a podcast. It is
Yes.
here for with to recorded.
Yay.
So, Scott, you were also away from your home base while she was going through treatment, right? Like you had to stay in LA, is that right?
I did. When we went after that first meeting, when we went back to LA, we never came back.
Mm.
She never came back to Hawaii. Yeah. And we were totally expecting to.
Yeah, of
We
course.
had we were in the middle of moving into our new place. Like when I came home after she died, our new place, the renovation was not done. It was full of boxes. It wasn't even, she never got to live in,
Mm.
her little Donna palace that she was building.
I feel like it's like very rudely poignant that your life exploded and then you came back to all of that as well.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
unfinished. So and you've listened to the podcast like we've mentioned, you've heard every story.
Mhm.
So, some people have time and they do talk about things, or sometimes people are going through the medical stuff and then all of a sudden the person dies and nobody's warned you. Was yours similar to that, where the roller coaster was kind of up and down and then all of a sudden she's gone?
Kind of. I mean, the roller coaster was going up and down, but in retrospect, the overall arc was going down and down and down. And when you're in it, when you're on that ride, you kind of don't realize it. I mean, I don't, looking back, it's like, was I naive? Was I just in denial? And I think it was just, no, we were being optimistic and hopeful, and I don't regret that at all.
Were the doctors aware that it would be soon when she passed away, or how was that part handled for you guys?
At the very end, it went down pretty fast. So yeah, they started using palliative and then eventually hospice, and it happened so fast. She never did go on hospice. I was her caregiver the entire time, and I won't get into the details, but
The fun details of that, I'm sure.
it was
the harrowing.
absolutely, yeah, it was horrific. It was horrific.
So, two things that I was thinking about, like true roller coasters, that is how they work, right? Like you go up, but you never come quite back up as far as you went the first time. The other
Right.
thing is that the whole purpose of cancer treatment is to almost kill you, but not quite kill you. And so I think that people kind of have this expectation that if things are real, real, real bad, that's kind of how it's supposed to be,
Right.
because the treatments that we're doing we're trying to kill something inside of you without killing you. And so it's almost like we're expecting that. And so we might not see that actually no, the person themselves is also just dying as well.
And being in it and in the thick of it, like we were fighting to get her numbers, her chemistry, her blood work, to a certain point where she could get another treatment.
Yeah.
And, that it's like where the good news was, oh, we're going to poison you more.
Congrats.
Yeah. So
You're healthy enough to try to kill you again.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said, we never talked about end of life details. But the one thing that I did know, we had actually made out a will before we got married, which is because she made me, because she was the responsible one.
That is so smart.
It is so smart. Is that I knew she did not want to be cremated. She wanted to be buried. So that's the Only thing I knew, but I knew it. So, which created, a whole path of logistical,
Yeah, did you take her back to
hurdles.
Hawaii?
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
did, but we didn't have a plot. So I had to fly back here and find a plot and then fly back there and take care of stuff there and move out of the apartment that we were in and find a mortuary and find another one here and have them coordinate and get her transported over. It was a whole thing. But I found a beautiful plot at the base of Diamond Head, which is 5 minutes from our place. And it's literally across the street from the film studio where I worked for years and years. And when I found it, the salesperson showed me the plot, and I was like, "Oh, this is really beautiful. It's right, there's Diamond Head. The sunsets are really beautiful here. This is great." And I looked up, and there was a sign on the building right in front of me that said Garden of Hope. And it's like, I know, we're in the right place. We're home.
Can we just stop and pause about the ridiculous nature of shopping for a what are they called? A cemetery plot? Like you're on some like reality realtor show, like, oh, here we have this one that overlooks here, and over here we have this one that's got, it's 2 bedroom, 1 bath with
A walk-in
Yeah,
closet.
walk-in closet.
yeah.
Like,
This one
what?
is by this one is by the dumpsters.
Just like, what is my life that I am
This one has a pole in the way.
Yeah, exactly. This one has
so
a
weird.
spigot next to it, which
Yeah.
may or may not
Yeah.
burst.
Yeah.
But that could be a feature if you think about it, because it's easier to water your flowers closer. So I don't know. It just depends on what you're looking for, Scott,
Exactly.
and what your budget is. So
Did you do services for her? How did that work?
I did. I did a beautiful service for her here. I found at some point, you guys, so I'm an art guy, right? I had this vision that I wanted to have a purple casket. Purple is the official color of pancreatic cancer. So casket had to be purple. And oh, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but Donna's nickname was Daisy. So Daisy's played in all through this as well. Daisy is the official, believe it or not, is the official flower of pancreatic cancer. And
Wow.
all these little, signs, if you want to call them that, kept showing up. So I wanted a purple casket and I wanted to paint a giant daisy on it. So found a casket. I had it shipped. I found, a friend of mine who's an artist. The two of us painted this beautiful daisy. And I had a great service, except that for 2 days before the service, I got COVID.
Oh, come
oh, of course.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So
Dark
yeah,
comedy.
it was a horrible day. It was just a horrible day. But our musician friends came out and supported and sang, and it really was beautiful. And then a month later, I ended up going to Canada and had a celebration of life for her in Calgary with all of her Canadian friends.
Yeah. You did
And
good, I think.
Yeah, good
You should
job.
be happy with the
thanks.
job that you
I'm
did.
I am trying, and I'm still trying. She actually passed away 11 days after our third wedding anniversary.
Mm.
So I kind of glom those two dates together weirdly, but in a celebratory way, not in a morbid, sad way. So i.e., on the first anniversary of her passing, which was also our wedding anniversary in my mind, I wanted to do a proper celebration of life for her here in Hawaii. So we went back to the place where I had had that amazing love bubble party for our wedding, which is a historic home on the water in Honolulu. It's actually McGarrett's house from
Oh.
Hawaii Five-0.
See, we've come back again.
Yes. And I had a celebration of life there. I invited people back that were at the wedding, and it was so amazing. And I called it Daisy Fest. And it was just, it was so powerful and the music was so great. And I thought, you know what? I could do this. We had talked about doing this reunion tour every year. I could do this every year and make it into a fundraiser and call it Daisy Fest. So that's what I did. The next year, I did it at the same place and sold tickets, and it sold out immediately. And the music, you guys, it was so unbelievable that everybody was just so blown away. And they're like, what are you going to do next year? What are you going to do next year? And I had this vision of growing it. And it's sort of my mission right now is to keep this growing. And, I'm raising money for pancreatic cancer research, and I'm honoring Donna and keeping her memory alive and showcasing local Hawaiian music and musicians. So it's sort of the trifecta of, our passions.
Um,
Yes.
do you have somebody moving the coconuts around on the stage?
I am pretty much moving the coconuts.
Anita volunteers.
I'll move the coconut.
I will too.
Come move the coconuts. Yeah.
No, I honestly, I was like, I know this great jazz musician who would definitely be a good fit for Daisy Fest, and I will carry her luggage, and we will have to come to Hawaii for this fest.
You guys are so welcome and invited, and I would love you to come. So this year I did it in June, which was what, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I don't know. And I did it at the Blue Note this year. So I did grow it. So it was at the same place where I proposed to her. I saved her seat. I put a lei there and didn't let anybody sit there. So that was her table for the concert. And you guys, it was fabulous. It was magic.
You're doing it right, Scott. I know it sucks, but like you're killing it and crushing it. I'm sorry that there's a reason for that.
I know. It's very surreal. It's like I'm hosting this event that is fun and the music is amazing. And it's because my wife died. It just doesn't make sense. I had a woman come out this year to host it that I had met in LA. She is a pancreatic cancer survivor.
Oh.
And she's an actress and a comedian. Her name is Wendy Hammers, and she's amazing. And she came out and hosted it.
So when's the next one? Next June?
I always kind of wanted it to be around our anniversary, which is April 6th. This year it got pushed later because I got a late start in planning. And June turns out to be a really bad time because that's like grad season. And a lot of musicians are traveling and not available because they're doing grad parties or they're starting their summer tours or whatever. So I think I need to...
February. That's when nobody's gigging.
And that's also coming up pretty soon. So I don't know if I can make that happen, but somewhere in there between February and April.
I have an idea. Now that all of the widow audience that listens to this has heard about it. Hey guys, go to Daisy Fest whenever it is. We'll announce it when Scott decides on a date.
Thank you. Everybody come. And I did actually the last 2 years I live streamed it. Because I know all the film and video guys here and they're amazing. I had a huge camera and lighting crew and they filmed it and live streamed it this year. So
Sweet.
People that could not come, i.e. mainland and Canadians and whoever's is, were all able to watch.
So Scott, we've heard how amazing Daisy is, and we're seeing and hearing how amazing your treatment of her legacy is. I want to know how you're doing, like in the small moments and the little moments. What's your day-to-day like, and then what's been kind of the last little while been like for you?
Good question. I mean, I'm still on a bit of a roller coaster. I mean, it's been 3.5 years now, and it still feels unreal. I have been little by little, I've been working on our place. And I mean little by little. Like every time I get a little project done, I'm like, Donna, aren't you proud of me? And I can just imagine her rolling her eyes and going, yeah, really? It's been 3.5 years. What took you so long to,
I
go through
put the
that
towel
box?
rack in.
Exactly. So I've been going through our place, trying to finish the things that I know she wanted to do. I've still got a lot of work to do. And sometimes doing those things is really connecting for me. I feel very close to her all the time. And sometimes I just shake my head and start crying. And it's like, oh, this makes no sense. I go to the cemetery. I was going every day. I'm one of those guys bringing fresh flowers for probably the first year. And now it's like 2 or 3 times a week. It's very close, so it's easy. I've met all kinds of other widows and widowers in our neighborhood. The number one question everybody asked me after I kind of came back and settled is, so are you going to go back to LA? I
Oh,
was like, no, I was kind of insulted. It's like, this is our home. This is the life we built for each other. And this is where they believed me. It's like, I got a double plot. I am literally gonna be here forever.
Did you find it comforting to come back to the house that was still in renovation? Did it feel like a new beginning in that you still had some input into how that went? Like, I know that a lot of widows feel a little bit of ownership, and it feels a little bit good to kind of create a new space for themselves that's kind of representative of where they're going and not just where they've been. Or was it just painful to be in that place that she never got to go to?
It was sad that she never got to live here. Although this place is in the same building that we were renting in
Oh.
for all those years. So we actually did kind of live here in this building. It's kind of the same view. We have a beautiful view of the ocean and of Diamond Head. But my intention is to finish it the way she wanted it. She designed this place, and I need to honor that and finish it the way she wanted. Even when I have to kind of guess what, she would have done, I kind of know her taste well enough. It's very different from my taste, but I'm doing it her way. That is comforting to me. I feel very close to her
Right.
all of the time. So no, I'm not ready to let go and start over on my own.
You're still doing WWDD. What would
Yeah,
Donna
what would
do?
Donna do? Yeah, absolutely.
Scott. So, like you mentioned at the beginning of the interview, there's not a lot of work going right now. And I know
Right.
how it is when you work on productions and you have teams and your work crew can become your family. And sometimes when you're not busy and you don't see that work family, then you don't see them at all. And so you again have listened to the podcast, and we know that men are more likely to be isolated after something like this. What's your social situation like? How are you doing? Because I know that work part can be a big, huge, helpful thing, but if it's not going, there's that. And then how are you socially? Do you feel like you're supported and good enough in quotes right now, or what's that like?
I feel like I have a good support system of friends here and in Los Angeles. I feel so blessed and so lucky to have the friends that I do. And many of them are musicians. And I have continued to grow that circle of friends and that community of musicians here, especially with Daisy Fest. It makes it sort of easy to do that. And you guys, there's so much music here. Every restaurant, every bar, every hotel has live music every night. And so I end up going out because I know a lot of the musicians. I end up going out several times a week to see live music. So that has sort of become my happy place is music, and that's what's getting me by. And I've made some really great friends. But one of my best friends right now, his name is Johnny Helm. He's a singer-songwriter. He plays 4 nights a week in Waikiki, so I often go and see him. And he'll give me a ride home after the gig, and we'll like do therapy in the car before, for like half an hour before, for both of us. And he has been a lifesaver. And Donna, before she got sick, because of COVID, the whole chocolate thing was sort of getting slow and going away. So she was pivoting and she was starting a company that would take local music and put it into television and film. So licensing, getting all the meta tagging done, like doing all of that work. And it never really took off, but she started working with this fella, Johnny. And when I came back, the two of us just bonded. And we started talking, and it turns out that he was weirdly, you guys, he was at Tiki's the night that I met Donna. He was playing that night. He was doing like every Wednesday night. He was there. This is years before I knew him. And then he was asking me about how I proposed to Donna, and I told him the Mark Cohen story, and his jaw dropped. He's like, I was there.
So he's stalking you without even knowing it.
He was at the Blue Note. And this is years before like we met and bonded. Donna never even knew that he was at both of those places.
Well, I support this answer of you having a good support system, because this is not somebody who is isolated and only staying home in his bed. Good job. You're still crushing it, and also sorry.
Thank you. It's hard not to some days just stay in bed still, but I know there's music out there that I need to see and be a part of. So it's keeping me going. Yay, musicians.
Yay, my people.
Yay, musicians. And Scott, yeah, Mel. We want to continue to hear how Daisy Fest goes and all about, your updates in life and how you're keeping on, because I mean,
thank you.
Your story is amazing. Know. Yeah. And Donna is somebody that I think, I don't know, that everybody is like, yeah, that's somebody that I would like to.
I want everybody to know her.
Be friends with,
And and that's a hard part too. And I've heard a lot of people say this. It's like the friends I'm making now, the new friends I'm making, I want them to have known her.
Yeah.
And so I really try to let them know her through me and through what I'm doing and through the stories. And believe me, there's tons of stories. And I think you do believe me.
I do.
You're convincing.
Scott, we have a very important question to ask you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you know this question.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite cheese?
You guys, I am so boring.
Nope.
Is it Velveeta?
It is Velveeta.
Yes.
How did you know?
American cheese in the wrappers.
It is Kraft Singles.
Yum.
What? Are you kidding me?
I love it.
I love all cheese. Any cheese that is attached to a hamburger or a pizza or a quesadilla, I'm all in. And also smoked Gouda and Brie. I know, boring.
Isn't that boring? You just selected like every cheese, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's my answer. Every cheese.
That's it.
Yum.
Well, Scott, thank you so much for joining us today. We are grateful that you reached out however long ago you did to tell us about the time machine, and that we've gotten to, we're current. Both of us, we're on the same page now in the time machine together. So
thank you for your patience. Thank you for what you guys do. It's so important. I can't say that enough. It is so important. It has really helped me. And I know I'm not the only one. It's helping everybody that listens to the show, everybody that's been a part of this show. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Yeah. And shameless plug.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
Daisyfest.org.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
All the information. There's videos, there's photos, there's all kinds of stuff. So,
and if you go next year, you might get a peek of somebody moving coconuts. I don't know.
Yes.
That person might be named Anita. And I propose that if we can go to the next Daisy Fest, that if other Widow We Do Now listeners come, we could have a cheese tasting party the next day. And Scott is going to find all the cheese in the world and create a table, because he also knows craft service people.
Yes. We're going to have the best Hawaiian cheese party ever. And there is a grand piano at the Blue Note all the time, Mel. So it's waiting for you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for listening today. If you guys would like to keep the podcast going, will you check out our Patreon? It's patreon.com/WWDN.
If you would like to buy us tacos or quesadillas or pizza, anything,
Yay!
we're going to give some to Scott at the next Daisy Fest post party. And you can find those at buymeacoffee.com/widow we do now.
And we always love a nice review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And until we get to talk to you again, I'm Anita.
I'm Mel.
And I'm Scott.
And we are just two young widows and one Aloha widower. And we're all just trying to figure out widow.
We
Do.
now.
Aloha.
Mel,
Yeah,
we have a major announcement to make.
go for it.
Did you know that right now all plans on Mint Mobile are what?
$15 a month.
Okay, that's truly ridiculous. Do you know how much regular cell phones are?
Yep.
$1 bazillion a month. 15 is less than that.
New customers get 3 months of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month if you sign up right now. And guess what? I use it. I love it. I've used it all over the country, all over the world, and it's great. And if you're wondering about phones, they have those available as well, or you can just port your own number and your current phone over to Mint Mobile. They make it so easy.
So if people are interested in trying out Mint Mobile, how can they go about doing that?
Go to trymintmobile.com/WWDN. And you know, it's interesting. When my dad died, we actually put his phone on a Mint Mobile plan because it kept his number going, but it was $15 a month. So there you go. And there's different storage plans, but you might as well just get the unlimited because it's $15 a month.
Absolutely. All right, go try it today.
That's trymintmobile.com/WWDN.